Okay, in problem number 11, it says, what is the value of arc sine of -2 or negative square root 2 over 2? Okay, so this arc sine means sine of some angle theta equals negative square root 2 over 2. Okay, so what angle theta, when we take the sine of that angle, is going to give us this value? That's what the arc sine question is asking. It's an inverse sine function. So let's have a look here. We have our unit circle diagram. I won't go through and draw the unit circle, but if we have pi over 2 and negative pi over 2, that's 90 degrees, right? So that's theta equals pi over 2, right? And this is the point 0, 1. So the sine is just going to be 1 here. If we go negative pi over 2, we're going to get a point down here that's negative 90 degrees, and this is the point 0, negative 1, and sine of that is going to be negative 1. So it's not square root 2, it's not pi over 2, and it's not negative pi over 2. So it's got to be one of these two. All right, let's go through and show that it actually is one of those two. So we'll draw, this time, just these axes here. And if we do pi over 4, okay, pi over 4 is 45 degrees. Right? Now we know sine is y over r, right? So let's make the radius here 2. Well, pi over 4, like I said, is 45 degrees, so that means this side has to be square root of 2, and this side has to be square root of 2, because square root of 2 squared plus square root of 2 squared equals 2. Right? Well, the sine of this, the sine of pi over 4, okay, sine of pi over 4 is going to be y over r, is going to be opposite over adjacent, and that's positive square root 2 over 2. So it's not that. Okay, so obviously it's this last choice here, but let's actually go through and understand why it is. So let's pick winning color, red. Here we go. And we'll go negative pi over 4 and draw a same reference triangle like this. And instead of square root of 2, this is going to be, on the coordinate system, negative square root of 2 because we're going down. The radius is still 2. And the sine of this angle, which is negative pi over 4, which is negative 45 degrees, is going to be negative square root 2 over 2. So sine of negative pi over 4 is negative square root 2 over 2. So that's the answer. Okay, let's go on to question number 12. It says, a graphic designer is drawing a pattern of 4 concentric circles on the coordinate plane. The center of the circles is located at -2, 1. Concentric means they share the same center. Con being like cooperation, they share, co-centric, they share the centers. So the center of the circles is located at -2, 1. So we immediately know, due to translations, that the equation is going to look like x and then plus 2 squared plus y minus 1. So I've changed the sign here. -2 is positive 2 and 1 is minus 1 squared equals, and we don't know yet what the radius is. This is going to be what we're going to fill in. Okay, the smallest circle has a radius of 1 unit. Okay, if the radius of each of the circles is 1 unit greater than the largest circle within it, what would be the equation of the 4th circle? Okay, and I think this is a little bit easier to understand if we look at it in terms of pictures. So we have this point 2, 1. We have one circle around it with radius 1. The next circle is going to have radius 2. The next circle is going to have radius 3. And the 4th circle around it, forgive my circles here, they're pretty awful. They're looking more elliptical than anything. Okay, that's going to have a radius of 4. Radius equals 4. Well, in this equation here, it's always equal to r squared. X squared plus y squared equals r squared. We've translated appropriately, and now we need the r squared. So if the r is 4, that means r squared, right? R squared is 16. So what we're looking for here is the equation x plus 2 squared plus y minus 1 all squared equals 16. And look at that, number 4. There it is, exactly what we're looking for. All right, let's go to the next one. Number 13. Carol notices that the number of customers who visit her coffee shop varies inversely with the average daily temperature. Yesterday, the average temperature was 40 degrees and she had 160 customers. If today's average temperature is 25 degrees, how many customers should she expect? Okay, the key word here, the key word is varies inversely. Okay, so the setup here is that we're going to have customers, the letter C, equals something over the temperature, because varies inversely means customers equals something over, divided by the whatever the other thing is, and that other thing is temperature. Okay, and we always have a constant. So this is the constant, and they usually use the letter K, because I guess mathematicians can't spell. All right, so customers equals some constant over the temperature. And the first thing we're going to do is find the constant using the data that they give us, 40 degrees and 160 customers. So let's find the constant. We have 160 equals, and again, we don't know what the constant is. We're solving for that, over the temperature is 40. Okay, so we multiply both sides by 40. That's going to cancel that out, times 40. And we have the constant equals 40 times 160, which is 6,400. So now we have the constant. Now that we have this constant, okay, the constant's going to go right there, and we can solve this for C or T if we're given one or the other. And in fact, we're given the temperature, and we're asked to solve for the customers. So we can do this. So customers equals 6,400 divided by the temperature is 25. Okay, so customers equals, you can carry that math out, and you will have 256. A way to figure this out without the calculator, if you're interested, is that this is equal to 100 times 64 over 25. Okay, and 100 is just 4 times 25, so you cancel out that, and then 4 times 64 is 256. So the number of customers is 256, which makes sense, because if it varies inversely, that means the colder it gets, the more customers she has. The lower the temperature, the more customers she has. All right, we'll see you in the next question.